Hey beautiful people, welcome to the Pluto Direct Transit Guidance for all 12 of the zodiacs, hosted by yours truly, Shakima, head practitioner at Consciously Connected. Stay tuned, my loves. Hey beautiful people, it's your girl Shakima. I'm just stopping in for today's weekly oracle guidance for this week, and I'm also going to give you guys a little something extra, something special, just because I'm feeling nice. Pluto has effectively gone retrograde as of yesterday, so I'm going to be doing a additional guidance for my different tribes. So for my fire tribe, air tribe, water tribe, and earth tribe. So that is essentially all 12 of the different zodiacs. I hope you guys are feeling optimistic about this new cycle that we're now embarking on since we've had the Aries full moon just last week. I think that the energies over the weekend has been pretty intense here in the UK. I can't necessarily speak for anyone else anywhere else, but you know, we've been purging a lot. It seems like the energy has just been reflective, I guess, of the energies that we've all internally been navigating our way through as well. So this is definitely going to be an interesting week for us to be able to all navigate through. So send you guys all the love, my loves. I am going to be uploading this on my YouTube channel. So if you guys are watching this via my YouTube, welcome, my lovelies. And if you like my vibe and want to be a part of the tribe, subscribe. Okay, I'd love to have you in the space where we could just chop it up and get into the biznai. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get straight into it because there's a lot of info that is to come, and I want to be able to give you guys as much insights as I possibly can. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it and see what's sort of coming for you guys this week. Okay, let's see. One of the things to bear in mind is that this is the first full week basically of all of the outer planets. So Jupiter went direct, I think it was a good almost a couple of weeks ago. So with Saturn now direct and Pluto, this is exam season, guys. Hey beautiful lady, this is exam season. Everything that we've basically learned during the planetary retrogrades is going to start to really sort of show up in a way where we can really just show ourselves how much we have learned about ourselves in the process, and potentially what we've learned about others and how we choose to respond to them. Are we still in that mode of reacting to, I guess, their flaws or their imperfections? Are we still in that place where we can be triggered basically by them going through their learning process? So these are some of the things that we are, I guess, going to be navigating through. It will be very difficult for us to do the work, and some of us have, I wouldn't say bigger jobs than others, but some of us carry a heavier karmic burden or baggage than others. And we know what our assignments are. It may be subconsciously to some, and for others where it's conscious, this is just a time where we're going to be able to pour out as a collective and pour into each other in the process. Let's not forget that one, because even though we're pouring out of ourselves, it's important that we are able to pour into each other collectively as well. And that's the thing about listening to your intuition. There are moments where you are going to be called to be used as a vessel this week, to be able to be there for someone, to help them pour out whatever it is that has been hardening their heart, that has been tension in their body for the longest. So utilize your intuition, because you're being used in many ways this week is all I can say about that. So because I'm like mindful of the timing, I'm going to go ahead and get straight into the guidance for us as a collective for this Pluto direct energy. So Pluto is it's all about death and rebirth. It does also rule our sexuality as well. So it's just one of those things that, you know, with Mars, I guess, being in retrograde and us being in Mercury pre-shadow period, for that to go retrograde on the 14th of October, we're literally at a place right now where we're dealing with our sexuality. We're dealing with our sensuality versus sexuality. We're really being able to focus on whether or not we're using sex essentially as a crutch, or whether or not the spirit of lust is using us in a way where we're not necessarily in control of. So these are some of the things, now that Pluto is direct, that we're going to be asked, because Mars is still in retrograde, let's not forget, and Mars does also impact our romantic relationships. So this is going to be very, very crucial for us, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and have a look and see. Let me see if I can just, you know, flex things up a little bit here, because there's so much for us to sort of get guidance on. I want to be able to bring us as much insight as possible. So I'm going to start off with my air tribe. So air tribe would be Team Ravenclaw. This will be my Gemini babies. my Libra babies and my Aquarius babies. Okay, so this is a reading for my air tribe sun, moon, and rising sign. So just sort of like keep peeled for it. What is the overall guidance, Spirit, for my air tribe babies working their way through this Pluto direct transit? As clearly as you can, please. What do you advise for my Gemini babies, my Libra babies? Is their season, Spirit? My Aquarius babies, what do you advise for them in navigating their way through this Pluto direct transit? I'm hearing be yourself. Be yourself. Honor yourself. Allow for yourself to be able. And when I say that as well, they're saying like the darkness, it's a part of you, but it's not the entirety of who you are. So just be mindful of that. We're definitely going to have to break bread, I guess, with people that we may still be working through. I don't want to say forgiveness for everyone, but there may still be some underlying issues that we're still working through with those, I guess, brothers and sisters in Christ. But it seems like for my air tribe, so for you guys, interestingly enough, right, I'm going to show you the cards that I've got for you guys. We've got Pleiades and we've got No. We've got No. So on the bottom of the deck, we've got, you know, the great crumbling. So things are actually crumbling around you. It does feel like things are falling apart, but I already outlined that in the cards for this week. So that's in motion with this Pluto direct energy. You are breaking away from old tribes or breaking into new tribes that isn't necessarily going to balance the weight of the old tribe, because you're moving into, if you have a look at this photo, right, on the cards, like these are beings that are ascending. You are ascending and transcending your old reality. So the thing for you guys, the recommendation for you guys is to ask yourself, what is it that you're still clinging onto? Spirit is taking you into higher realms of consciousness. Spirit is allowing for you to be able to transform the reality that is no longer into what you desire. And as you're going through the process of that, ask yourself what it is that you're clinging onto and why you're clinging onto it, and how you can actually allow for yourself to be able to gently and slowly break free. There's like this saying, when your hand's in the lion's mouth, don't just yank it out. You have to slowly, like, maybe wait till the lion's asleep, you know, and take your hands out. You don't just automatically just cut off your nose to spite your face type thing. What I'm seeing here is that there may be certain situations where you may be having to say no this week. There may be certain situations where you may be forced to wait on God's timing to be able to reveal itself, so that you can understand more of the intention behind what it is that you're being used as a vessel to do. And it's important, as you're navigating through the process, that you just take a leap of faith and allow for yourself to pause. You know, as you take this leap of faith, when I say pause, because naturally, I guess just to sort of like break down the context of that, naturally one would think, okay, I'm just going to go and run and throw myself into this situation. And that's not necessarily what Spirit is asking of you. Spirit's asking for you to have a leap of faith. Take a leap of faith into letting go of your fears, of your doubts, of the things that you're still basically processing about this amazing opportunity that is happening for you. And just pause. Postpone that for a minute. Postpone your feeling of inadequacy. Postpone that for a moment. And ask yourself why. And ask yourself what it is that you don't necessarily believe about your gift, about your skill set, about what you've been training for lifetimes for. What is it that you don't necessarily believe about yourself? Because a lot of the times, the things that God puts us through, like I said, you know, He never gives us more than we can handle when He's preparing us for something. Sometimes we don't believe in ourselves, and He has to push us that little bit harder so that we can actually get to the end of our testimony to look back and say, do you know what? I did that, and I did it by doing this, so that you can see the steps that it took for you to be able to become. And it's important, beloved. It's important. That word become is important, because you have to embody that. And sometimes if you're still, you know, scared, if you're still doubtful, if you're still fearful about your ability to do exactly the things that you want to do, God's just helping you boss up, man. He's just like, hey, like, dead that. We ain't got time for that. We're gonna actually have to move past this situation. So just take a leap of faith and really just take it as an opportunity to observe what God is doing around you. The things that are breaking away naturally no longer served you, but it served its very beautifully unique and divine purpose. Okay, And you have to bear in mind, as you're navigating through this process at the minute, you're also uplifting humanity. You're on a double mission. You're channeling and uplifting humanity at the same time. You're channeling up humanity in the sense that, you know, the body is the actual empath. You know, the body is the intuitive that's constantly seeking to understand what's going on around it. The soul is uplifting humanity by allowing for its ascension points, by allowing for its vibration to shift as you ascend. So just stay focused on the mission, guys. Stay focused on the mission and hit pause right now on old situations, on past situations, because they've served their purpose. Okay, let's have a look and see. Okay, so after my air tribe, I'm gonna go into my water babies, my water tribe. So this will be Team Slytherin. That will be my Cancer babies, my my Pisces babies, and of course my Scorpio babies as well. So you guys will be able to sort of get some insight to see what this Pluto direct transit is going to be doing for you guys. It's a very, very crucial time for us all, guys. So what is the overall guidance for my water tribe babies? That's my Cancer babies, my Scorpio babies, and my Pisces babies. What is the overall guidance for them during this Pluto direct transit? I'm hearing keep the balance, keep the balance. It's probably going to be like an emotional outpour, and obviously water tribes, right, naturally prone to have that emotional sort of outpour. But Spirit's kind of really just saying to me, yeah, just let it all fall out, let it all fall out, let it all fall out, guys. So I don't know if you guys can see the card. Oh, we're going through an initiation. We're going through an initiation, and we know when we go through initiations, it comes with darkness, guys. I just have to like go back to this card again and just kind of like show you guys. Majority of what we're going to be navigating our way through during this Pluto direct transit. Again, this is for my Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going through an initiation, and this means that there will be dark times ahead, because again, Pluto is all about rebirth, and the rebirth is that we are having to find our way through this little alcove here, this little passage of light. We have to stay focused on the light, guys. We have to stay focused on, you know, the gathering that's taking place. We have to stay focused on the tribe that we're coming into, because this is a rite of passage that's taking place for us. I'm not gonna lie, because even as I'm saying it, I can feel like there's a sense of nerves. There's a lot of anxiety potentially in the space. So there are going to be times, and I'm seeing a lot of tears. I'm seeing a lot of tears, and it's making me emotional, guys. So because of this rebirth, we're naturally prone to be emotional creatures anyways, but this rebirth is allowing for us to move into our new version of self. And sometimes we kind of have to emotionally let go of our old self. What I'm hearing is, for some of us, it's going to be mentally tormenting. I'm hearing that some of us may experience this initiation through the process of depression. Some of us may experience this this initiation through a process of, okay, so the way that I'm feeling it is that there's a lot of darkness for some of us. There's still a lot of emotional baggage. Like I said in the initial reading, there's a lot of resentment and hatred, even just calling a thing. Some of us, we don't necessarily realize that the shadow of certain experiences that we've been through, certain traumas basically, has tainted our light and created its own shadow, and we've kind of discredited the shadow, or we haven't necessarily taken the opportunity to really allow for the shadow to have a voice. And those feelings are going to come to surface. Those feelings want to be able to be validated. They want to be able to express themselves as well. So we are going to be initiated into understanding more about ourselves by being able to validate our own experiences through the feelings of our darkest parts of ourselves. Don't be alarmed. I just want to put this across, like, it's nothing for us to kind of be scared about. It's nothing for us to be shook about. Like, we don't need to fear anything. Yea, though I walk through the valley of death, I fear no evil. There's nothing for you to fear. Like, these are parts of yourself that has been through something, and you're the only person that knows the entirety of your journey. You're the only person that knows exactly what you've been through, and because of that, you are the only person that can heal yourself. God may bring support along the way for you to be able to connect with when he sees that you may just need a cheerleader, because that's really all the support is there for. They're just motivation and encouragement for you to continue with the healing process. But it's going to be strenuous. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be strenuous on our hearts. At times we may feel emotionally exhausted. At times mentally we may feel like And I'm getting emotional because I'm literally, I'm hearing the thoughts and I'm feeling it. So there's something that's taking place between the solar plexus and the sacral chakra. So the 3 lower chakras even, which usually when the sacral chakra and the solar plexus is off balance, it basically means that the root chakra isn't necessarily anchored. So there's a lot of outpour. Our fear stems within our root chakra. So there's a lot of fears from things that we've gone through in our childhood, because again, the foundation of self is built based on the things that we experience, and that all of that emotional processing is launched within the root chakra, and a lot of that is going to be coming up. We are going to be having Kundalini awakenings, guys, and what that means is that the life force energy of light source is going to be making its way up the body, up the, you know, going through all of the chakras. But with the Kundalini awakening, sometimes people get lost, sometimes people forget themselves, sometimes people get lost in the processing that they're doing. They don't necessarily know how to let the energy naturally flow back down into the root chakra so that it can be re-anchored. Allow for yourself, as you're going through this, to make sure that you have the right people around you. And when I say the right people, I don't mean emotional crutches. I just mean team players, people that are going to be a cheerleader for you when you need them to be, and allow for you to do what you need to do for yourself as and when you need to do that for yourself as well, with no judgment. If you need to take a break for yourself because you're going through a lot of emotional processing, there are people there that is able to understand that and not take it personally and not basically judge you for it and make you feel guilty for it. And you have to be able to make sure that you're giving that kind of energy. That's the main thing that they're saying to me. You have to be willing to give that kind of energy to someone so that you can allow for that tribe to naturally allow for the coming together, allow for the gathering that's taking place. But it is going to be tricky, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm really, it's going to be a lot of work, basically. It's going to be a lot of work emotionally, but mentally we're going to have so many breakthroughs, guys. So many breakthroughs are coming our way. So just watch this space and know that this is happening for your best. It's an initiation, not a, you know, it's not like you're being, how can I put it? It's not like God is basically kind of like pushing you out. He's kind of cheering you on, if anything, letting you know that you can do it. It's kind of like, you know, when like parents trying to teach their child to like ride a bike, and you're like, have I got it? And the parents just kind of like, oh my God, you've got it, you're doing an awesome job. So God's just kind of like sat back and letting us know that we've got this. But when we need support, it's important for us to be able to just learn that this is important, that we validate our own feelings, because that's what we're being initiated into, the darker reflections of ourselves that has gone for a very long time without acknowledgement. And it needs to be acknowledged first and foremost by you, because like I said, only you know the entirety of your journey. Okay, let's have a look and see. We're going to go ahead with Earth Tribe. That's literally what they just said to me. So the next Earth Tribe, that would be Team Hufflepuff. That would consist of my Taurus babies, my Virgo babies, and my Capricorn babies. And this is a general reading for my Sun, Moon, and Rising Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo babies for this Pluto Direct energy. What is the overall guidance, Spirit, for my Earth Tribe babies, my Taurus, my Virgos, my Capricorns? Play. And it came out like a little bit, it wasn't all the way reversed. So this is letting me know that the advice and recommendation for you guys, I don't know if you can see it. Can't see it, guys, but it's basically saying to play. Don't take things too serious, or at least try not to take things too seriously, because as you're kind of like going through this process right now, heaven is happening here on earth for you, but you have to basically identify what your heaven is, what your heaven looks like. In a lot of philosophies, they speak about the 7 realms of heaven as well. In Islam, it does speak about the 7 realms of heaven as well. You have to decide what your heaven looks like. What level of heaven are you partaking in? What level or realm or degree of heaven are you engaging in? This is a time where you're being advised to just have fun. Don't overexert yourself. Don't take things too seriously. Don't get too lost in everything that's going on externally, and take this as an opportunity to see where you can be a little bit more playful with yourself, where you can be a little bit more playful with others. Just for some of you guys, what I'm seeing and hearing as they're sort of like giving this one to me, like a lot of my Earth Tribe tends to be like they see their lessons as a burden, right? And it's like they're taking it so seriously to the point where they're beating themselves up and beating other people down in the process. And Spirit saying where you're being taken that I'm hearing it in power as well, that can run. So we can't have that where we're going, guys. You can't take that with you where you're going. And Spirit's really just asking you to be a little bit more lighthearted about the situation. Yes, I understand that there's very serious things going on in the world. Yes, I do understand that there are very serious changes that are taking place in the world. And I believe that it feels as heavy and as big of a burden as it does on you, because you understand that it is a very significant time that we're living in, but you're taking it too seriously from time to time. There's situations where you may be in a, I guess, situation where you're overthinking things too much, you know, and you're pushing the people that you love most away because you're overthinking it too much. And again, all of these like frustrations and resentments that you're kind of still holding on to, it's not allowing for you to be your playful self. But that's the recommendation and advice to you guys. I can tell that you guys are going to struggle with it because, like I said, the card didn't come out upright, but that was a good indication to let me know that that's not necessarily where you guys are at the minute as we're navigating through this Pluto direct transit. But that is the recommendation and advice for you guys. Try to not take it too personally. See what opportunities and potential there is for you to grow in the process, and don't drown yourself in thinking about things too deeply. Try not to drown yourself in thinking about the ideal scenario or the perfect situation, because at the end of the day, like, God is always working for our overall best interest, and he never fails. That's the funny thing about it. Like, even when it looks to us like we're failing, that is when God is succeeding the most in those instances. So just be mindful of not necessarily taking things too seriously, because like, we're here to go through the process of growing as a soul. And I feel like, honestly, like, God has like a really random and weird sense of humor sometimes. I literally have to sit there and be like, look, this is not funny. Give me a week or two to like find the humor in this. But it's just one of those things, like, sometimes as humans, because we're fixed in the experience and we have all the feelings and our body's being triggered, and, you know, all of these emotions are being, I guess, ignited by all of these emotional and hormonal triggers. It's a little bit more challenging, basically, for us to find the humor in situations. But just celebrate life. Focus on the fact that you're here, which means that you have an opportunity to do differently, to grow, to evolve, to transcend, and just try not to take things too seriously. Take a break sometimes. Like, get off this treadmill of thinking that everything has to happen now and it needs to be perfect and you need to do more and you're not doing enough, and all of these thoughts that you're having. Recommendation to you guys, like, when you find yourself living in here, write the stuff out. The more you write, the more things that can pass through the avatar, the more I guess downloads or insights that you can get by just being able to write things down. Speak to someone. Like, just getting it out of your body allows for more to come through the body. Okay, remember, the outcome for us as a collective this week is the Ace of Cups energy, so we are getting an outpour. Try not to take it too seriously, guys. Okay, let's see, we're closing out the space with my fire tri baby. So this is for Team Gryffindor. That would be my Aries babies, my Leo babies, and my Sagittarius babies. So we're going to just go ahead and have a look and see what's going on for you guys during this Pluto direct transit. This is a general reading, again, disclaimer, for my Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius sun, moon, and rising. Okay, what is the overall guidance, Spirit, for my fire tribe babies, my Aries, my Leos, my Sagittarius babies? What is the overall guidance for them during this Pluto direct transit? I'm hearing prepare yourself, it's all coming. So a lot is going to be coming in for you guys, bearing in mind for you, particularly Aries, you know, Mars is still in its retrograde motion, so that is going to be impacting your growing process as well, and your learning process still. I'm hearing just prepare yourself, it's coming. That's the thing that they're sort of like saying to me. So what is the overall guidance, Spirit? Make it clear to me, please, for my Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Okay, there we go, guys. I already sort of said it to you guys. The card that you've got is Answer the Calling, and beneath that is the Great Gathering. So I basically just said it in as many words. Your calling is taking place. It's your time. This is your season. Spirit is really going to utilize this time to be able to propel you forward in ways that you really you couldn't have imagined it. Even in your wildest dreams, you couldn't have envisaged it. And this calling is interesting because I'm like feeling hearts fluttering. It's like I can feel the vibrations of hearts that are basically like just being called to purpose during this time. So for my fire tribes, a lot of you guys will be able to start to actualize your purpose into manifestation during this season, during this Pluto direct transit. And the very significant and important thing that I'm seeing at the bottom of the deck is boundaries. Don't necessarily let people pick at you too much. Don't let parts of yourself that is underdeveloped pick at you too much either. This is a great opportunity for you to understand more about what your soul is being called to do during this Pluto direct transit. So take it as an opportunity to really look within yourself and ask yourself, you know, what is my purpose here? Like, what is it that my soul is being called to do in this moment? Because there's so much layers, there's so many layers that is going to really be unveiling itself to you during the process of this Pluto direct transit. I'm excited for you guys. That's all I can say. Like, I can really feel hearts opening itself up to purpose. I feel like keys are basically doors are opening for people of the fire tribe. So just know that it's all coming together. Like, this season of intuitive hits is really allowing for your soul tribe to be able to come into the space with you. But first, you have to be willing to answer the calling. You have to be willing to allow for yourself to be completely honest about what you feel on the inside. And don't let your fears hold you back, because you're greater than you think, is what I'm hearing. You're bigger than you could ever imagine. They're showing me like the energy body of someone. And it's like, now that the heart is open to this purpose, it's like the energy body's growing and the energy body's just permeating. It's so bright. There's so many layers, like all of the layers of the chakras just permeating through this individual. And it seems like you'll be able to face your fears during this Pluto direct transit. In a positive way. It may not necessarily feel like that all the time, and I do just want to keep it completely honest with you guys and true, like, because again, the way that God works, sometimes we don't understand, and sometimes we do just want to quit and give up, and that's really when he's working the hardest on us. So just focus on what your soul is being called to do in this moment, because it's very, very significant. It's very important, no more significant than anybody else's purpose. So I'm not trying to give y'all a big head, because I know my fire tribe can be a little bit egotistical sometimes, just calling a thing, as we all can be. No judgment here. But just allow for yourself to really sit and observe what it is that this vessel is being utilized to do. Sit with your soul. Ask questions, guys. Like, ask your soul. Sometimes I get downloads and I'm like, oh my God, I hope I can do you proud. Like, I genuinely have conversations with my soul, my personal soul, because a lot of the times, like, we're so busy having relationships with other people, we forget to have a relationship with ourselves. And because of that, we forget about the individuality, like the fragmentation that's taking place. Yes, there is a oneness that exists, and that is the true reality of this world that we live in, but there's also fragmentations, and that is also very real and very true. We are a soul, but we're also a body, and sometimes we have to just take the time to acknowledge that. So let your body gain a deeper connection to your soul by asking the right questions. Ask your soul, you know, when you get a download, okay, how can I do that? How do you see us being able to manifest that? How do you see me being able to, like, really do you proud with that? You know, just really honoring this human experience that you're having, because there is only one of you. You know, yes, there are many lifetimes that we live, and why I put my fingers in quotation marks is because, you know, our ancestors live on through us, through our DNA. So that in itself, from my understanding, is reincarnation. But you will only ever have one of you. And one day you will be an ancestor to someone. And by you being able to live in more of your purpose and your soul's desires and intentions, it allows for a breakthrough for the next generation and the generations after that. And they'll be able to look back to you as an example at some point. So just honor your experience that your soul is having, and honor your human's experience as well, because you guys need each other. The soul can't fulfill its role and purpose without the human vessel, and the human cannot do what it is supposed to do without the intention and guidance of the soul. So just be mindfully aware of that, and know that it's just a unison. You know, it's just a union that's taking place, and we both need to be able to live and experience life in unison. And a lot of the times, a lot of our brokenness is still on our soul, and because the human body continues to grow older and move forward in the linear concept of time, we forget that the soul is still processing, and it's still healing, and it's still bruised from certain experiences that we've had. So just honor all of who you are, and answer your soul's calling. Okay, that is the guidance for all of my awesome zodiacs for this Pluto direct transit. Thank you guys for stopping into the space with me tonight. I hope that this was useful for you guys. I hope that I was able to provide you with the insight that was necessary. I did allow for just mostly channeling to come through, because I feel like as much as I can read the cards to you guys as well, the channeled information is basically my soul's guidance to you guys as part of my purpose. So just thank you guys, and I'm gonna love you guys and leave it there, because I'm almost certain that I'm gonna get kicked out of this space. So just thank you guys for showing up and showing out for yourself. I'm gonna be putting this up on my YouTube channel, so if you guys are watching this via my YouTube channel, comment down below and let me know how you guys have been able to effectively utilize the information. There's a lot for us to process, there's a lot for us to be able to navigate through, but you've got this. I have faith in you. And God has faith in you, most importantly. So yeah, I'm gonna love you guys and leave it there for you guys. I will see you guys probably later on this week, actually. So until then, my loves, enjoy your evening. Namaste and God bless. Mwah. Take care, guys. That's all, folks. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell